Happy Wednesday morning, everybody. Beautiful day here in St. Louis. They say we're going to be wearing shorts on Saturday. 74 degrees. Are you kidding me? Middle of November. That's all right. I'll take it. I don't like the real cold weather. I do like change, but I don't like that real cold weather. All right. Today's subject is, here we go again. I think that's going to be the subject. Here we go again. NASCAR and Michael Jordan and the 2311 team in Front Row Motorsports. Everybody knows by now they're suing NASCAR for monopolistic practices. They're saying NASCAR needs to share their wealth. Give us some more money because we don't think you're giving us enough. That's all it comes down to. The Herminator dumbed it down for you. So yesterday on Tuesday, breaking news in the garage area, Judge Bell, if you remember, told everybody, got a year ago, y'all better fix this yourselves because you're getting ready to burn the house down. He said, I've never seen a group of people wanting to burn their own sport down. And I agree. So, yesterday, Roger Penske and Rick Hendrick. Now, I'm going to say this in a way you all understand it. I'm not doing it all legal mumbo jumbo. Roger Penske, Rick Hendrick said, look, we understand you want to interview us. We don't want you to interview us because we're too famous. And we don't want to tell you our business. That's fair. That's what they say in the real world, in the business world. We don't want to tell you about our money. It might cause problems. Judge Bell literally said, no. Rick Hendrick, Roger Penske, you're going to have to be honest. You're going to have to be, the new word, transparent. You're going to have to be transparent. You're going to have to tell us everything we need to know. And everybody's going to have to hear it. Holy moly. Now, you know Roger Penske and Rick Hendrick, they're good men. So they're not going to lie. So what are they going to say? What are they going to ask them? Well, if you read what I read, Bob Pockras put out, everybody's putting it out. It was pretty wild. Can you believe it was my own friend, Jeff Gordon? Jeff Gordon said publicly a year or so ago, he said, we haven't turned a profit here at Hendrick Motorsport in 10 years. Well, it sounds harmless, right? But the people went, what? What do you mean you haven't made any money in NASCAR in the last 10 years at Hendrick Motorsport? So, 2311, Front Row Motorsport, they're like, hey, yeah, look here. See, NASCAR needs to give us more money because Rick Hendrick, his representative, which is Jeff Gordon said, hell, we haven't made any money over the last 10 years. So, in a weird way, that got the ball rolling. If Jeff Gordon says, Hendrick Motorsport, we haven't made any money in 10 years, well, then that's why NASCAR needs to give us more money, and that's why Roger Penske and Rick Hendrick, now they need to talk. Are they really not making any money? Well, I was surprised when Roger Penske and Rick Hendrick said this. Now, this is another piece of new news. They didn't want to talk, but they asked the judge, hey, don't ask us these certain questions. That's what it reads. Now, this is not me saying this. I'm telling you what I read. Roger Penske, Rick Hendrick said, hey, Judge, don't ask us these certain questions. Judge Bill went, oh, no. We're going to ask you everything we need to ask you. And you're going to be transparent. So here we go. Roger Penske, Rick Hendrick, two of the finest, most honest men in the world or in life. Everybody wants to work for Roger Penske and Rick Hendrick. So what are they going to say? What are they going to say? Somebody said to me on social media, hey, Herman, what do you think they're going to ask Rick Hendrick and Roger Penske? And so it's going to be pretty simple. They're going to ask him all the things you want to know. Like, hey, do you guys make any money? And if you do make any money, how do you make it? Now, this is my opinion. They're going to answer dead ass honest, because they can also, if they want, they can subpoena their books. They can go, hey, let us see your books. Boy, that's going to get messy. You don't want to do that. So, once again, we've repeated it 100 times. This is why Judge Bell said, boys, in a dark room, go in a dark room and figure it out yourself, because you don't want this to go to court. And so it begins. This is what Judge Bell was talking about. Now, sure enough, before this trial starts, remember the trial starts, there was a time there that NASCAR said, let's settle. Let's figure it out ourselves. Remember that about a month ago? Hell, everybody was happy. All right, they're going to settle themselves. Well, guess what happened? They got in a pissing match. They went back and forth and nothing got settled. So, grown men with a big ego. And now I guess we're going to really know if Roger Penske and Rick Hendrick make money at NASCAR. Here's my thought. Do they make money at NASCAR? I think they do okay. I think by the time Roger Penske, gets some of that free shell oil and he uses it for all of his dealerships and they trade back and forth, I think he does all right. However, does he make money? Probably not. But is NASCAR good for business for Rick Hendrick and Roger Penske? You know it is. You know it is. All right, everybody. Have a great Wednesday.